Okay, so folks, again, we apologize for that break in. Kindly give us update on the audio quality. Please let us know what the audio quality is like. Uh, we will appreciate your feedback if you were to give us an update on what the audio quality is like. Let us know if the audio is working well. And this is Spoon TV. Thanks for joining us. Kindly give us update on the audio quality. We sincerely apologize for the break in there due to some technical issues here beyond our controls. All right, so again, we want you to give us more update on the audio quality. Kindly let us know what the audio quality is like. Again, thanks for joining us, folks. We are here live, Spoon TV. I'm Nelson Collet. Behind camera is Ernest Benda. And just a quick continuation of the update we thought to provide here with respect to the workings here today at the legislature, precisely the Liberian Senate. So we spoke of series of committee reports that should have come through today, which did not happen based on the unavailability of the report from some of the committees and the unpreparedness as well with respect to getting the reports coming forward. And on the flip side, business on President Dex, there were a series of communications. We did talk about the communication from Senator Jeniton Bocha Segwe of Ravergy County, and how he presented two communications on the floor today. One relating to the deplorable conditions of road in his county, the deplorable condition of the road across his county, and also the issue that has to do with the collapse of one of the major bridges in his county. That's Raver G County. Now, on the flip side, he addressed a communication to the plenary of the Liberian Senate today that was basically concerned about the sunk Nico Ivanka vessel, a vessel that sunk some 3 years back. That was in 2021 when some employees of the West African Examination Council, WAEC at the time, had gone to Maryland County, left Monrovia for Maryland County to administer the wax exam. And in the process, the vessel taking those individuals prior to departure, there were reports of the vessel not being in good condition, and that the manifest of the vessel also had that on board that vessel were 19 people. And in the middle of the journey, the vessel got depressed, according to report, and then it sunk. Rescue efforts were being made, and some 11 persons were being rescued on the vessel. The rest of the other occupants of the vessel lost their lives in the process. Immediately when the incident occurred, it got revealed through some investigation that, contrary to what was contained on the manifest of the vessel, that the total number of people on that vessel exceeded 20. And so some 10 persons lost their lives reportedly in the process. And so the government at the time decided to compensate the dependents of those who lost their lives. The 54th legislature came up with a resolution that was passed. So once the resolution got passed, it was now the responsibility of the legislature to ensure that some compensation is being provided for those people. It did not, however, happen. However, it didn't happen throughout the 54th legislature until the 55th legislature now. Some of the family members have been raising concerns with respect to them not getting the compensation that they should have gotten. As per the resolution, each family member or each of the victims' dependents should be getting 20,000 United States dollars from the government of Liberia. Since it's been 3 years, that has not come forward. So the lawmaker has been addressing a communication today asking on the government, the legislature, precisely the Liberian Senate, to consider the compensation for those dependents as they start the conversation around the budget for 2025. It is expected that at the end of this month, the Ministry of Finance or the executive should be presenting the draft national budget for 2025 before the legislature. And so he thought that since in fact this conversation about allotments and everything is about to start, that it was very important for the Liberian Senate to consider the compensation for those victims, the dependents of those different victims in the Nico Ivanka vessel that got sunk. And on the flip side, there was another communication today as well, presented by the Montserrat County Senator, Senator Abraham Darius DeLone. His communication basically had to do with the labor issue in the country. He wrote to the plenary of the Liberian Senate to cite the Ministry of Labor regarding the issue of the issuance of work permit to non-Liberians in the country. Well, Senator Abraham Darius DeLone wants the Labor Minister, Councillor Cooper Kura, to appear before the Liberian Senate to say why non-Liberians are being issued work permit in the country in the midst of the high unemployment rate across Liberia. His argument as per this communication is that the only way, by law, the only way a non-Liberian should have access to certain employment opportunity is when there's absolutely no Liberian available to do that particular job. Now, the senator argued that beyond that, there should be advertisement of those different positions in the local dailies across the different media spaces possible. And if a Liberian is unavailable as per the labor law, then of course a non-Liberian can take those positions. But he thinks that unemployment rate is very high in the country, while non-Liberians are coming to the country, according to him, serving as toll boys. Some of those foreign companies employing non-Liberians as accountants, social workers, warehouse keepers, and serving in different positions across the country. So the senator has been pushing that particular debate via his communication today. It is expected that the Labor Minister, Councillor Cooper Kura, will appear at the Liberian Senate to say why this government, why the Ministry of Labor is issuing permit. Well, a couple of weeks ago, the Labor Ministry boasted of generating huge revenue via the inspection across the country through their different let's say inspectors they have across the country, and also through the issuance of work permit. But Senator DeLone argues that work permit is not meant for revenue generation. He thinks that there are so many ways through which the government can generate revenue, and work permit should not be one of those mediums of revenue generation. So the labor minister is expected to appear and have that issue addressed. On the flip side, there was a communication from Senator Thomas Yaya Nimle of Grand Jide County today. He presented a communication regarding the closure of Government of Liberia mobile money payroll upon the discovery of multiple discrepancies in reference to the civil service, that's the CSA circular, to all government ministries and agencies. So the senator took keen interest in that. A lot of you remember that quite recently the CSA boss made some media appearances, even here on Spoon, where he spoke of some robust actions that are being taken to ensure that those discrepancies are addressed. And one of the measures, one of the steps that the CSA is taking to address this issue is to ensure that the mobile money payment is seriously looked at, that there was some closure of some civil servants' accounts, especially those who could not step forward to make sure they are identified in line with the process that the CSA initiated. So the senator thinks it's a bad idea. He pushed the argument today that in the rural parts of Liberia, especially the Grand Jide County he represents, there are some of those places that has absolutely no access to banking institutions. He spoke of the entire southeastern region, the Grand Coup, River G, Riverside County, and all of those counties that do not have access to banking institutions. He also pushed the debate that the salaries that those teachers or some of those civil servants are earning is very low. And of course, living from one point to another, transportation is very high in those different counties. So the cancellation of the mobile money for such people would bring some unbearable hardship upon them. So the Grand Julia County lawmaker has been arguing that the CSA bus, this action taken by him is in the wrong direction. It's going to strangulate the struggling civil servants across the country. He wants the Liberian Senate to cite this CSA boss, Director Josiah Jokia, to appear before the Liberian Senate and give tangible reasons and defend his action and say why the Civil Service Agency is taking this action, talking about the cancellation of mobile money payment. He thinks that the mobile money platform has presented tremendous advantage to so many Liberians across the country, where they can sit anywhere and receive their salaries and just go and cash it out. He thinks with this revolution, with this advancement, with this immense improvement that the mobile money platform is bringing to how transaction or payments are done across the country, it should not be taken away from the process. And so he wants the CSA boss to appear before the plenary of the Liberian Senate, so to say why he took those different actions. And so those were just a few of the happenings here today at the Liberian Senate. The Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, VP Jeremiah Kwankun, presided over today's session, the 39th-day regular sitting of the first session of the 55th legislature. And as you know, by law, once the Vice President is present, as President of the Senate, he presides while the pro tem takes a seat as a senator of Grand Bassa County in that capacity. Folks, those were just a few of the updates we thought to provide you. It is expected that come Tuesday, some of those senators, some of those committees that failed to present their reports, their respective reports, talking about the report from the Joint Committee on Public Cooperation and Judiciary, Human Rights Claims and Petition on a bill for an act to create the Liberia Seaport Authority, and the Liberia Seaport Authority. So I mean, it's expected that all of those reports will be made available come Thursday for the Liberian Senate to proceed doing the Liberian people's business. So those are just a few updates we thought to provide you here. Thanks for watching Spoon TV. I'm Nelson Colette. Coming up next tonight on Spoon is an exclusive interview, one-on-one, an exclusive edition of one-on-one with the CEO, with the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Speaker Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, being the guest tonight. They will come your way. Have a good night. Thanks for following Spoon TV.